What's up, everybody? How's it going? How you guys doing today? What's up, what's up, what's up? Let's see how the chat's doing. Drop a like for good luck. Yeah, if this video gets to 114 likes, that means everybody's gonna get a perfect score. 14 more hours. Yeah, it's fast approaching your test. By the way, welcome. This is the SHSAT study stream. I'm your host this evening. We're going to be doing a little bit of this. We're going to be doing a little bit of that. Everybody's saying speech. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm just going to tell you guys to have fun. Practice, practice. Yeah, we'll be going some of this material before, depending on what you've studied, but I think it's just important to go through every single section during this so you guys can ask your questions. Oh man, it's gonna be a minute before I get caught up. Hold on, I'm gonna do some aggressive scrolling maneuvers here. Okay, cool. The lag is real. Yeah, it's gonna be a little laggy, but where are your taxes? Oh no, the FBI is asking. Wow. Have I become monkey yet? No, but I'm on my way. All right, so let's actually jump into this sooner rather than later. We're gonna start with some ELA, okay? We're gonna start with ELA. So if you don't wanna do ELA, you're just gonna have to sit on your hands or whatever, just chill, come back later. We're gonna be going through every single section of the test, and it's gonna be starting, not with that, but it's gonna be starting with grammar. So let me actually pull up a little bit of grammar here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Also, if you guys have any questions towards the end of the passage, we've done these two already. Oh, this is Form A. Whoops, hold on. Let me get to Form B. Oh, we did this one. Dude, we already did these. Whack. We already did these. Okay, so we're just gonna briefly, very briefly go over grammar. Just so if you guys have any questions, we can address them now as far as grammar is concerned. Todd, I just wanted to say thank you. You have been the biggest help. I won't be here because if I study, I will panic, but really thank you. Yeah, do your thing, Luis, man, whatever you got to do. Okay, so let's cut into this first question, guys. Answer. Give me an answer. Here, I got to turn off my AC or my heat really quick. Hold up. Everybody is spamming A. That's probably right. My question would be what is the, yeah, exactly, Sing. That's the concept that's involved here. So when we're looking at punctuation, notice we have three of the same punctuation. A semicolon is the exact same thing as a period. So they're basically saying, does a period go here? Does it go here? Does it go here? For D, they're getting rid of a period. So this is basically asking you, where are the full sentences and how do we separate them properly? What is the definition of a full sentence? A noun that does a verb. The land on earth is a noun, has is the verb. So we have a full sentence here. At one time, that's an introductory phrase. A massive supercontinent, that's the noun. Covered, that's the verb. So we have two sentences, and right now they're separated by a comma. That's a run-on sentence. That's a comma splice. So we do need a period, we need a semicolon, or we need a comma fanboy, a comma and then the word and, a comma and then the word but. Any of those fanboys would also count as a period. All right, that's good. What about 2? Just so we can talk about it, I guess. Because I feel like we did this like last week. The test is tomorrow. Mad nervous. Yeah, funnel that nervous energy, dude. Redirect it. Is it bad for me to think I will do good? No, not at all. What's up, Zach? All right, cool. So yeah, everybody's jumping on E for this one. All of those activities, the walking dogs, the cleaning of the kennels, the hand feeding newborn kittens, we have to ask ourselves who does them, because they're just verbs right now. And the nearest noun to those set of verbs is the animal shelter. And this is something that they will trick and trip you up on. Yes, yes, those activities take place at an animal shelter, but is the animal shelter literally doing that? You know what I mean? Like, is the animal shelter doing each activities? Not technically, they're employees of the animal shelters are. The animal shelter is a building and a business. So kind of nitpicky, but that's how it's going to go down. And so the word volunteers needs to be next to all of these verbs that introduce the sentence. You could also consider these verbs non-essential modifiers, and the noun or the verb for a non-essential modifier needs to be right next to it. I have a video on non-essential modifiers, so check that out if you haven't already. Let's go to number 3. Okay, so a lot of people are coming down on B. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I think people come down on B for different reasons, but let's actually talk about the real reason. The Colosseum in Rome, Italy. This comma here is only because it's separating the city and the country. That's it. If we just say the Colosseum in Rome, that is just as fine as well. So this comma, you really got to ignore. It doesn't really do anything for us. So the Colosseum in Rome, Italy, which? The Colosseum in Rome, Italy, which? So we have our noun here, but we don't immediately go into a verb. We kind of have an aside. We kind of say which is considered one of the new 7 wonders of the world, comma. And then we have our verb. So the Colosseum in Rome, Italy, and the verb is are separated. And that's normally not a good thing, except if we have a comma right in there, basically where you guys were saying, right? Insert a comma after Italy, because then this entire thing becomes a non-essential modifier. What does it modify? The Colosseum in Rome, Italy. And if it's surrounded by commas, that means that we can take it out of the sentence and the sentence is still legit. The Colosseum in Rome, Italy is the largest amphitheater ever built. That looks really, really good. So that is how this one goes down. That's a little bit of grammar for you guys. Do you guys have any grammar questions before we necessarily go into the reading comprehension, which, I mean, if you know me, you know I love reading comprehension. Can't get enough of it. Just, I wish we could do more of it. But do you guys have any grammar questions before we jump into it? Let's see. No, grammar's pretty easy. How do you remember grammar? I would watch, I mean, I'm obviously shilling my own videos, but I would watch my grammar videos. I think they're pretty comprehensive and pretty legit, I must say. Passive voice is when the verb a lot of times comes before the main noun. That is kind of what a passive voice is. So being very direct is saying John kicks the ball. Being very passive is you don't really want to say it. Like, think of it like you're breaking bad news. You'd say the ball was kicked by John, right? That's very passive, because even though John is doing the kicking, he is not mentioned until the very, very end, and that's passive. So you want to make sure your main noun comes before your main verb. That's all that I would say for that. Dangling modifier, you won't be tested on that. Don't worry about that. Just make sure that your modifier modifies the thing it's supposed to modify. What are modifiers? I would look them in my grammar videos. Do sentences have to be in the same tense? Yes. Is there an essay? No. How do we do the questions where it asks how to replace sentence 4 to represent topic of the passage? Well, then a lot of times that sentence won't be representative of what the passage is talking about. So just look over the first sentence of each paragraph and you can tell pretty quickly what the passage is about. Okay, math, we're gonna do math at the end. So did you take the SHSAT? I didn't, but I've been tutoring it for a really long time. I'm pulling an all-nighter. No, Mask, get some sleep, bro. Studying at like 1 a.m. won't do you any good. Can we do poems today? We actually don't have a poem lined up today, but we do have a reading comprehension passage, which, thank you for reminding me, let's jump straight into that guy. So reading comprehension has been changed in recent years. They have made the passages much more boring than in the past. So just prepare yourself mentally to charge head first into some pretty boring material. Like, look at how kind of dense this guy is. Not like necessarily an enjoyable read by any means. He's gonna have to be a little smaller, actually. Okay, I think that's the biggest that I can make that guy. And then this guy, oh man, hold on, hold up. I should have done some cropping. I should have done some cropping, but we're gonna have to move with it. Okay, dude, why is it like I cannot figure out what half is? Okay, all right, so, I know that text is probably not the largest text you've ever seen, but hopefully you can read through it. We're going to go through this passage. We're going to read it. I'm actually not going to let you see it because I don't want you to get a head start on the reading. But we are going to read through this passage. The question I get a lot of the time is, do you read the questions first? Back in like a couple of years ago, I would have said, absolutely, why not? Now, do not read the questions first unless you absolutely have to, because it is much more important that you read the passage legitimately and absorb as much as possible. If you have questions in the back of your head, you're more likely to skip around and skim. So without further ado, we are going to read this super interesting passage. So just prepare yourself for mind-numbing greatness. Let's go, and write in the chat that you're done. So I know you guys are done. Let's go. Okay, I'm still here. I'm seeing a lot of dones, but I am going to give a little bit more time because I realize some people kind of like to digest it slowly. So like give it like 1 more minute, okay? If you're still reading this, keep doing your thing. We're going to go into the questions to just break down the question. So even if you didn't finish reading, I mean, that's not entirely the point because we're going to be talking about wrong answer choices and how to kind of finesse the reading comp. Here's the graph that comes with it. I actually don't think that there's a question based off of these graphs, but they have them. So let's keep going into the questions. 49. Which statement describes how the author's use of problem solving or problem solution in paragraph 2 contributes to the developments of the ideas in the passage? What's the answer? Okay, I'm seeing the chat fill up with some A's and some D's. So let's talk about how we can get, will there be a clock on the test? Yes. So let's look to see if we can differentiate these two answers. A says, Morse's discussion on a ship about Faraday's electromagnetic or magnet reminded him of a Yale College lecture on electricity, which he had enjoyed but had not fully understood, inspiring him to learn more about electricity from his colleague, Gale. D. Morse's lifetime fascination was not enough to make up for his lack of knowledge about electricity, so he eventually sought help from Gale. Okay. So those are actually very close. There are some issues with A, though, I will say. Did the discussion remind him about Yale College lectures on electricity? I don't know if that necessarily is true. The passage doesn't say, oh, yes, that made him think back. It sounds like he was already very interested in electricity already. I mean, it says he had wrote his parents a letter of how interesting he thought it was. So I don't really know. Yes, he enjoyed it and did not fully understand it. That is a fact from the passage. But is that inspiring him to learn more about electricity? That's a little vague. Whereas when we see D, his longtime fascination, which is true, he was fascinated for a long time, even when he was writing his parents back in college. So, yeah, I think that's a better, more succinct explanation of this one. That's just, I probably could continue to explain why A is a wrong answer, but I kind of want to keep moving too. So number 50, which statement best describes how the author's use of sequencing in paragraph 3 contributes to the overall structure of the passage? I'm seeing E's and F's in the chat. E says, so we're looking about the use of sequencing. And I think they're talking about sequencing of discovering this thing. E says, it shows that several people were simultaneously attempting to create an electric telegraph. The word simultaneously is incorrect because the dude was doing this, what was his name? Joseph Henry. He was doing it way before Morse was even in the picture. So the word simultaneously actually ruins E. F, it shows how the invention of the electric telegraph depended on information and techniques discovered by others. That's, yeah, a beautiful answer. We love that one. 51. The details of the section, the growth of an idea, convey a central idea of the passage by suggesting that. So we're looking at these two paragraphs here. What's the answer, guys? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of different answers. I'm seeing a bunch of A's. I'm seeing a bunch of B's come in. So let's figure this one out. What is the central idea of the passage? The central idea of the passage is that Morse and his homies figured out a way to win this grant and make an invention to connect America. That's it, right? So how does that convey a central idea of it? Let's look at 51A. The collaborative efforts of colleagues resulted in successful communications over a wire. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little less than I was hoping for, because it's not like once he invents the telegraph, we're done. We still have to talk about getting the grant from Congress, burying the piping, not being able to use it, putting it up on poles, the first message that was sent. So it isn't just simply communication over a wire. B, a great deal of interest and work was devoted to understanding how to use electricity to send signals. Yeah, that's exactly it. It does show us, because the whole thing is about how these people had to work independently and then come together and figure it out. So yeah, B is a great answer for 51. We like that. Let's keep cruising. 52. Read this sentence from paragraph 7. All right, we're gonna have to scoot. This is paragraph 7, by the way, this guy. Morse had, what does it say? The desperate Morse gave the go-ahead, and the line was completed in time for the dramatic and spectacularly successful link between the Supreme Court chamber of the Capitol building and the railroad station in Baltimore. What is the answer for this? Lot of people saying F in the chat. Yeah, I think this one's kind of easy. Sense of wonder and celebration that the telegraph wire was accomplished. Yeah, dramatic, spectacularly. That's pretty elevated language. We don't need to really talk about that one. 53. Which sentence is the best summary of how Morse obtained the funding necessary to build his telegraph system? Please get this one right, guys. Let's go. Okay, little bit of context for you guys. B and C are great answers. Morse applied for a government grant that required both houses of Congress and the president to pass a bill awarding him 30 grand for the telegraph project. If you know about government or bills or anything like that, it does take both houses of Congress to pass the bill, and then the president either signs or vetoes the bill. So if you come in with that outside knowledge, B looks very, very good. In the passage, though, is that how Morse obtained the funding? Is that what they talk about, that process? Not necessarily. Even though that is probably very true what happened, that isn't what the passage describes as his process of getting, applying for, and then getting the grant. Looking at the passage, it says he's got confidence, he applies for the government appropriation, and he conducts demonstrations, right? However, they had a panic, which basically means like an economic depression, caused along with depression. And so he had to wait. He was just kicking it. Then they come back, he applies to Congress, and they say, go do it. Do it, bro. So now let's look at C. Morse applied for a government appropriation and conducted telegraph demonstrations to show that his system could work. And after a delay caused by a financial depression, Congress approved the 30 grand appropriation in 1843. So although B is correct, it's not based in the passage. And that is what we have to go on. And so remember that. You can be very smart in other areas, but try not to bring too much of that to reading comp. Try to just rely just on the passage. Okay, how many more questions we have? Okay, speed round 54. The idea that in the mid-19th century, the United States was mostly unaware of the possibilities of electricity is illustrated in the passage, mainly through. And I think a lot of people are going down E. So let's talk about the other answer choices to see if they're wrong, because you could read E and go, well, just because they're using flags or lights doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have the electricity. Maybe they don't trust the electricity. It's not the strongest answer, but then that means the other three must be very weak. H, description of how electric circuits could be closed to ring a bell at a distance. That's just a disgusting bad answer. Discussions of the newly invented electromagnet that sparked the idea of sending codes through wires. That has nothing to do with the United States. Delay by the House of Representatives to pass the bill funding Morse's telegram line 6 years after he first applied. Now, F and G are true, and even H is true, but they don't answer the question. So even though E is kind of trash, we're going to pick it. 55, which statement would the author most likely agree? Tyler, any tips to read quicker for a reading comp, but still get the right answer? Yeah. Try to block other thoughts out of your mind. Like really try to focus on reading. Like you might have thoughts creeping into your mind while you're reading. Do your best to block those out. That is the fastest way to speed up. Okay. So a lot of people are going to D on this one. Morse's inventions of the telegraph made a great stride towards better connecting people across the United States and across the world, guys. Yeah, that's really good. The other ones, C is a little too dramatic. He just had to hold on for 3 years. It's not overly influenced. B, You don't need to understand electrical systems to know the importance of a telephone. And A, that is just if you have an opinion. But it is interesting to me how close we were to having all those telephone poles buried. Like, imagine how many telephone poles you see a day. Imagine if they were all buried. How does the map provide additional support for the central idea in the passage? Okay, so we're going to use the map. Here we go. It says the first transatlantic electric telegraph message was sent in 1858, and by 1902, the British all-red line connected most of the world. So what's the answer for 56, guys? The articles are so boring that it's making me doze off and think about other stuff. They do that on purpose, bro. You're getting played. So just remember, it's about willpower. You have to force yourself to do it. You can do it, bro. Answers coming in. I'm seeing some H's. I'm seeing H's getting caught in my spam filter. I'm seeing E's. I'm seeing G's. So I'm seeing a bunch of different answers for this one. Very interesting. So how does the map provide additional support for the central idea of the passage? The central idea of the passage is what I highlighted earlier, that Morse and the gang really worked super hard to apply for this grant and to make it work, and then to build it between Baltimore and the Supreme Court chambers of the Congress, and do a test. That's the central idea. So let's go through these answer choices and let's see which one is the best. E, by demonstrating that Morse's telegraph system greatly exceeded the limitations of previous long-distance communication systems. That's pretty good, because we were talking in the very beginning of the passage and how they would use like fires and banners and stuff. And compared to that, yeah, his system is pretty amazing if it can go around the world like that. F, by indicating that Morse was lacking foresight by seeking a patent only in North America. That's actually incorrect. He went to Europe to seek a patent as well. G, and that's in the passage. G, by proving that Gale's advice helped Morse extend the telegraph's range much further than first thought possible. That is true, but we don't need a world map to see that. We just need the distance, the 40 miles between those two places where he built it, to show. H, by showing that the Morse telegraph has a surprising immense influence across the world. That is pretty good. That is a pretty good answer. So in my mind, it is between E and H. Is the central idea of the passage about his immense influence, or I'm sorry, the telegraph's immense influence? Or is it about the telegraph system greatly exceeding the limitations? I don't know if there's that much evidence in the passage to base it off of his immense influence. Like, we don't even really talk about what other people thought at the time. They just say that they did it. It's not like they even go into like people's reactions. So because of that, I'm going to say H is not as strong as E. I'm going to say that the answer is E for 56. Okay. Oh, we did it, bros. 57, last question, so get it right. How does the graph support the ideas in paragraph 8? So this is paragraph 8. It says soon overhead wires connected cities up the coast. Telegraph lines extended westward, and within Morse's own lifetime, they connected everywhere. So let's talk about the graph. What's the answer? Without hesitation, the chat is on B. It provides evidence of the dramatic increase in the number of telegraph messages as Morse's system expanded across the United States. That's exactly on the money. That's exactly on the money. The only issue I have with that answer choice is that it just says across the United States, wherein in the paragraph it says across the United States and then soon the world. But the other answer choices are probably trash. It indicates how welcome the improvement. No, I mean, it is, but that's, I don't know. It doesn't really talk about people's like welcoming of the improvement. That is a good answer though. I do kind of like A. B, it provides evidence of the dramatic increase. That's not really what A is talking about as much. It's more of just like highlighting how it went everywhere. Yeah, that was good. We talked about it though. God, I like B too. This is so tough. It's like this last question because A is decent and B is decent. Let's see, C and D are trash. It reveals that by the 20th century, millions of people, had used the telegraph. Despite earlier hesitations, there are no earlier hesitations. D, it shows how improvements that allowed Morse code to be read in real time made relaying. No, that doesn't matter if they can read it in real time. People were going to use it no matter what. So let's talk about A and B. It indicates how welcome the improvement of long distance communication was. I don't know if it indicates how welcome the improvement. That is catching me up on A. Yeah, that's not really sitting with me. Because it does provide evidence of dramatic increase. Yeah. I mean, look at that. It, like between 1910 and 1920, it doubles. So that's pretty huge. I don't know where in the graph it indicates that the people were welcoming of the system. You know, they may have been very happy to get it, but where in the graph does it say that? Yeah, more people are using it, but does that indicate that it really was a welcome improvement? You know, you probably had John Fletcher being like, oh my gosh, people are sending messages too fast. So guys, that is the end. We crushed it. Any questions on reading comprehension before we move on? Are there any reading comprehension questions that you guys have that I could quickly answer before we move on? And then yes, we are going to be doing some math. So any quick questions? What a time to be alive. Could not agree with you more, Malik. Wait, is 57B? It was, yeah. Is it a good idea to read the questions first? No, read the passage first, definitely. Are there any tips for ELA? Watch my grammar videos and then just, yeah, let's go math. I agree, Shiny. What's the best way you can answer these questions? Just be very careful about the word choice because as we talked about in previous questions, one word can make it incorrect, right? Tyler, I pass. What? Oh yeah, go ahead. Just good luck, bro. John Fletcher is trash. Yeah, really. How do I decide which one is correct in between two last choices on the reading comp? We kind of talked about it. You could do two things. One, look at the answer choices and see if they have incorrect information in them. Two, look at the answer choices and see if the information isn't relevant to the passage. And three, bonus, look at the question again. Does the answer choice answer the question specifically? Like in this last one, does the graph show that they were welcoming? I don't know. How to read faster without saying to get the thought out of your head? There really is no way. It's like you're asking me how to run faster. How do you run faster? I would just say, like, really just go for it. But with reading, if you're not a fast reader, it's not like I can tell you something and you're going to become a fast reader. You can kind of cheat a little bit. If you read the first sentence of each paragraph, it can kind of give you an idea of what's going on. But with the new improvements to the reading comp, you just got to read it, bro. I would suggest skipping a passage if you notice that it's a little too tough. Tips for pacing on ELA. It's tough, and you got to take a practice test and see how you do pacing wise. That's, I mean, first and foremost, you have to do that. So if you've already done that and you just need help keeping track, just try to spend about 10 minutes on each passage. That's the goal. You need like 50 on both sections to get into STI, yeah, or you need a really good math section and just an okay English. Any tips for reading comprehension? Read the passage, actually read it. What do I do if none of the questions make sense? That means you should start in the math section. Tyler, your class is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, welcome all the new people to the channel. Definitely subscribe. We're going to be continuing streaming different content, but appreciate you guys being here. Definitely like the vid. How do you not get bored? Just willpower, pure willpower. You think I like reading about Morse? Dude, that was mad boring, bro, but I just forced myself. Is it good to make a roadmap or something? Yeah, if you want to write a little like summary next to each paragraph so you don't get like totally bored, you can remember kind of what was happening. That helps sometimes for some people. If you can't pick between two answers, I think we just talked about that. How fast should we do these questions? I would say a whole passage and questions in 10 minutes. We were moving kind of slow because we're talking about stuff. What's the best way to guess is to eliminate as many answer choices as possible and then just pick one. It honestly doesn't matter. Poem, to all my friends, I wish you good luck and let all here be successful. To Tyler Amos, thank you for teaching and guidance. Please stay cool and have a nice day. That is really awesome. Thanks, man. Is 49 out of 57 good for STI for one section? I would push to get into the 50s for sure. What do if, yeah, should we try to digest the passage slowly? Yeah, but remember, 10 minutes for passage and questions. So, tips on comprehending the passage but not taking too long. I think we talked about that. Oh, bro, the chat. Okay, all right, okay. Chat's moving way too fast. I don't even know where I was at. Okay, when is this speech? It's just gonna be at the end. I'm just gonna talk to you guys. SHSAT tomorrow, yes. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed your question. Is it better to take a long time reading than go through the questions fast? Probably the first one, Kaleem. How fast should we do these questions? To tell her, what is your diagnostic task? I'm not gonna tell you. Let's see. How to run faster, run. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm almost caught up to the chat here. I'm almost caught up to the emojis. 239 new record. It's better. I answered that. You're my 5th Twitter follower. Nice. I haven't been on that. I made it and then I didn't go on again. People be grinding 12 hours before the test. Yeah, but you got to give your brain a rest, man. It's like, would you run a marathon before running a marathon? No. Should I read the question? Should I read the questions first in grammar passage? So for grammar passages, read the first sentence of each paragraph so you have a general idea of what's going on, and then jump straight into the questions. Where can I get a practice test? I've just been doing PDFs. Search SHSAT student handbook. You're tracking millennials with your SHSAT prep. You're legendary in my book. Thanks, Shani. Thank you, Danny. I actually didn't realize that. Is that true? Tips on poetry. Separate what's literal and what's not literal so that you understand what's going on. Why does everybody want a speech? I've been giving you speeches all the past week. Tyler, okay, so we caught up to the chat, so you know what that means. We're going into math. Okay, bros. Going into math, so get your math brain ready. Oh, so yesterday we saw the death of my notebook. That the chat worked through an entire notebook full of paper, but today, oh, we got stacks. We got stacks. So we're gonna be good to go paper-wise. If you guys have questions in math, we can knock it out. I thought it would be cool because we had a pretty good time last time with this 2011, 2012 math section. It's kind of fun, kind of funky. So I think we can get, I think we can get some good, the chat is cracking me up. Yeah, okay. Can you age problems? Yeah, we probably will. Can we end before 8 p.m. because I got to sleep and eat? Yeah, we probably should end probably around 8, Shiny, to be honest. So get a lot of comments about the keyboard. So let's go into this. I think this is a great test. I'm a big fan of it. So again, let's go through the first page in its entirety, just so that, you guys get used to jumping into a math test. The first question of the math section today is 51. Let's go. Corey asks about silly mistakes. I said this yesterday, but I'm definitely happy to repeat it. Start referring to them as serious mistakes because they cause you to get the entire problem wrong. So that is a pretty serious mistake. Be very vigilant about checking your work, checking your math, because if you're giving away points, that's pretty serious. All right, answers are flooding in. I'm seeing a couple A's and I'm seeing a couple B's. Seeing a couple A's and I'm seeing a couple B's. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what the answer is, guys. Let's see what the answer is. So I'm interested, did you guys do this? Did you change the 2/3 to 0.6666? What was your, I'm interested to know what your technique was for this one. Or if you did what I do, just let me know. Ooh, that first page tears so nice. So we do have 3.6 divided by 2/3. I really don't like that, so I'm actually just going to change it to be 36 out of 10. I'm going to change it to that. If you're confused on how to get this, that's fine, but you don't have to do it this way. But to me, this is the easiest possible way to do this problem. We then flip the second fraction and multiply right. And right here, this is where a lot of people get the problem incorrect. And that's pretty serious. So we have 18, 108. Okay, 108 divided by 20. I'm going to reduce this fraction. I'm going to divide both the top and the bottom by 2. So I'm going to get 54 out of 10. And if you can't, or if you're not confident doing it, 54 divided by 10. So 54 divided by 10 goes in 5 times. We're done. 5.4 B. Okay, so that's it. That's how this one goes down. Nothing crazy, but you can see it's very easy to give this one away. Very easy to give this one away. So just keep that in mind as you're doing it. Let's see. Face reveal at the end. Lurk more, bro. Let's go to the next. Let's actually not go to this next one. Here we go, bros. Strap in. Age game. Let's go. 53. Okay, seeing a lot of different answers popping up. I saw A's, I saw some D's, I saw an E get in there. Also, just for your information, when you start the math section, you're going to be starting with grid in question. So this is an old test where you start with multiple choice. You guys are going to be starting with grid in questions. So just keep that in mind as you do this. But the chat seems to really think it's A. Let's see if that's true. Maria is now 16 years old. Well, that's easy. Let's get a little zoom action in here. In 6 years, she will be twice as old as her brother. Man, this one is not that hard. So in 6 years, she's going to be twice as old as her brother is then. Okay, so in 6 years, Maria is going to be 22 and her brother is going to be 11. How old is her brother now? Yeah, D is a trick answer. Yeah, D is absolutely a trick answer. because if you just see, oh, her brother's 11, then let's go for it. But that isn't true, because this is plus 6 years to get to 11, just because we plus 6 years to get to her age. So when we take 6 years off of it, the bro actually starts at 5, and that's where A comes from. So pretty actually not crazy. I thought it was actually gonna be more fun than that. I got like hyped, but let down. Let's keep going though. Any of these guys blow your mind, or you guys want to talk about any of these? Let me get a lot more of them on the page. What do you guys think? Which number should we do? Question is rigged. Yeah, big explain. Can you explain how to turn a fraction into a decimal, please? Yeah, dividing. So 1 over 2 equals 0.5. What is the long division of 1 divided by 2? That's what I say for that one. Okay, 57, 58s, I'm seeing a lot of different numbers. I'm seeing 57s, I'm seeing 58s, 55s. Okay. All right, let's actually start with 55. Let's just do this one real quick. I don't think this one is too nasty at all, but I just am interested to see you guys get on an answer for this one. So 55, let's go. A lot of people coming down on E, but at first I did see a lot of A's and B. Not gonna lie. But a lot of people are coming down on E for this one. So let's look at it. For a question like this, just pick numbers that work. So if M and T are odd numbers and M is a multiple of T, then let's say T is 5 and M is 15. We could have picked easier numbers, but I like those too. So A, is 5 plus 15 odd? No, it's 20. B, is 5 times 15 even? No, it's, believe it or not, it actually is odd. I'm picking new numbers for T. T is gonna be 3, M is going to be 9. Okay, so 3 times 9 is 27, that is not even. M minus T is odd, 9 minus 3, that's 6, that's even. D, M divided by T is even. Nope, it's odd. N divided by T is odd, that's what E says, so we're done. So you actually don't need to know number theory to get this one. You just need to pick numbers and that's it. So I pick a random odd number. Yeah, exactly, Son of Tibet, that's what's up. You chose the exact same numbers, yeah. I know, just pick 3, bro. Okay, so people were asking about 57 and 58, so let's do both of them. 57, let's go. Okay, so this one was not as crazy as maybe it presents. So we can still go over it, but it's not insane. So ignore the numbers right now. We have some registered voters, and a third of them are born between this year and this year inclusive. All that word inclusive means is that if they're born in 1950 or if they're born in 1979, we count it. That's all that means. So they actually didn't even really need to say that. How many of the registered voters were born either before or after? So if we know 1/3 are born in that time frame, how many are born outside of that time frame? So it would just be 1650 times 2/3, because 2/3 of the voters are not in that time frame. I'm actually going to divide it by 3 first. Wait, is that wise? That's not wise. I'm gonna actually multiply it by the 2 first. So 1650 multiplied by 2. I could just add it to itself, but why not? 12, 13, 33. Oh, this is gonna be very easy to divide now. So 3,300 divided by 3, 1. We're done. That's the answer. That's the answer. Notice they have B there, which is 1/3 of 1650. Don't get tricked. Don't get tricked. Let's talk about our homie Tien. What's Tien up to, bro? Tien's up to some sketchy stuff. He needs a security code. So let's go. People jumping on Jay. This is one of those questions where if you know, you know. And it also shows you that there are certain questions that could take a really long time unless you've done a question like it before. And then you can fly through it like the chat basically did. Hold up. Yeah. So which letters he chose does not matter. We know that it's a security code with 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And does the order of a security code matter? Yeah, it does. So we know we're dealing with a permutation. So he's using each letter exactly once. So there are 5 options here, 4 options here, 3, 2, and then 1 option left. That's it. This is also called 5 factorial, if you've ever seen it before. It's just 5 all the way down to 0, multiplying as we go. These 2 is 20. These 2 is 6. 20 times 6 is 120, and we're done. That's it. I don't know why I just crossed out the answer with that box, but that's how it goes. Now, interesting. What if I, give me a second. I'm actually going to whip up a question really quick here. So just give me a second to see, or just give me a second to write one really quick. Okay, so here is an example of a question that I'm just interested to see if you guys can answer as quickly as you answered the previous. What's the answer? You guys hear the sirens? They coming for TN, bro. He's got to stash it really quick. They're coming from TN. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of different answers. Guys, think of your phone lock screen. That is the same thing. That has a 10-key number pad. Think of some of the codes you use. Does this, like the previous problem, say that he's using every letter exactly once? Does this problem say he can't use a letter or a number twice? Could his code be 000, like my iPhone's lock screen? Could it be? The answer is yes. So if he has 3 positions, he has 10 choices for this one, 10 choices for this one, and 10 choices for this one. I see 3 zeros, so there are 1,000 potential codes he could come up with. You got swerved. You got tricked. Explain more, please, guys. If you are confused on this concept, I would watch my combinations and permutations video. That is a lot more in depth than I can really get on stream right now. But just remember, can we use the same number twice or not? Does the problem specify or not? Does the situation necessitate it or not? You know, if it's a race where everybody's given a number, you know, number 94 can finish first, but then number 94 can not finish second as well. So there is no repetition. But with like an iPhone password, there is repetition. So just keep that in mind, guys. I swerved you. Don't let the test do it to you. Don't let it do it to you, bro. All right, let's move to the next page. Yeah, let's move to the next page. Let's see what they got for us. Any of these look good? Any of these look good? I don't like you anymore. It's my job to trick you. Okay, I'm seeing a couple 60s. I'm seeing a couple 64s. Okay. All right, I'm seeing some 60s, and I have a feeling we're seeing some 60s because of the table here. So let's get into number 60. What's the answer? The answer to that question, Emily, is there is no faster way unless you can do it in your head. Okay, so the only issue with this one is if you don't, yeah, the forbidden word. I'm seeing my spam filter fill up. If you're new to the channel, for some reason, the letter H occasionally gets caught in the spam filter. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but that is what people are saying for this one. So if you know what the word median is, this question is easy. If you know, you know. The median is the middle number in a group of numbers. Just like the median is the middle of the road, like if there's like a grass thing between each direction in traffic, that's called the median. Some roads have that. So that's all it is. We just need to list all of the spending per student because that's the column that we want. So just starting from lowest to highest, I'm going to make this bigger because I can't even see this, like my screen's way too far away. So the lowest is 2/7600. And then we have an 88,000 and then an 8,400. Then we have 10K and 11. Okay, so we have all of our numbers in a list. We just count them and pick the middle term. That's it. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our middle terms are going to be, oh, where'd my test go? Oh, it's all flipped. Hold up. Great. So our middle term doesn't actually exist. Our middle term lives right in here. So you need to find what the average is. A lot of people can just go, oh, the difference is just going to be 200. It's going to be 8,200. That's it. And that's the answer. Let's go. But I'm going to show you how to do it just in case. You have to add them both up. And then divide it by 2. And we get our answer of 8,200. So that's how this one goes down. Just remember, guys, what median is. That's the big one. People were saying 64 next, so let's jump into 64. What's the answer? How do you put negatives in the grid in? They will, I don't know if they do. Yeah, they do. So you would just you would circle in a negative and then circle in your answer. There's like a negative thing. Does the number of students affect the median? No, because that column was called spending per student, and they asked for the median spending per student. So they overloaded it with information on purpose. Okay, so for this one, you just have to follow the directions, right? So each number is the difference between the two previous numbers. So to go from 12 to 10, that's a difference of 2. To go from 10 to 2, that's a difference of 8. To go from 2 to 8, that is a difference of a negative 6. To go from 8 to negative 6, that is a difference of 14, because 8 minus 14 is negative 6. So to go from negative 6 to 14, let me actually show you guys really quickly, because this actually is an interesting question. Not that it's like incredibly difficult or whatever, but it is an interesting question. So let's just look at the first couple terms really quickly. Specifically, let's look at that 2 to 8. So, or actually first, from 12 to 10, the answer is 2. That's how we get that 2, right? From 2 minus, or I guess from, I'm going to be, I shouldn't skip ahead. I'm going to skip ahead. I don't care. So 2 minus 8 is going to equal negative 6. 8 minus a negative 6 is like 8 plus 6, so that's 14. And then we have negative 6 minus 14, right? That's the same thing as saying negative 20. That's it. They're basically just testing your ability to follow directions and to get your, yeah, order matters in subtraction. So true. They do have 20 there dangling out there. They do have 20 dangling out there, but don't forget your negatives, bro. Don't forget your negative. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going on to the next. Let's see if we can get a yeah, let's do this geometry one. We're kind of winding down on the math. If you guys have anything you want to work on specifically, guys, the last day of studying is like the least effective. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to have to study and learn everything today. I will say that. Let's go 68. This is a handbook, which is as close as we have to an actual test. Okay. So I think this probably will be the last question for today, because the point of today is not to study and fill your brain. The point of your day, the point of the stream today is it's like a nice little jog around the block. Not a big deal, just to kind of stretch the brain muscle. We're not, if you're cramming, that means you're probably stressing, which means you probably just need to relax. But we're gonna go into 68 and talk about it. I always find it's helpful, for me at least, to write the equation out that I'm going to be dealing with. We're going to be dealing with circumference, and the circumference equation is 2 pi r, or pi diameter, but for this case we're going to use 2 pi r. So we know what the circumference is. We know the circumference is 8 pi, and that equals 2 pi r. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. The pi's will cancel out. Any number over itself is 1. 8 divided by 8 divided by 2 is 4, so that is our radius. So we know what UT is, that is 4. The equation for the area of a rectangle is length times width. And so our length is 12, our width is 4. What is 12 times 4? Check our answer, make sure we're answering the right question here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks very good, actually. So that is the correct answer to this question. Guys, you're ready. You guys are ready. Do you guys have any observations about the test that's coming? Let's see how the chat is doing. Thank you so much, Tyler. I found you yesterday, but your videos have already been so helpful. I wish everyone good luck, good vibes, Saturn. Appreciate that. You always doing old handbooks that had scrambled paragraphs and logic, and I'm good at it, I bet. Later finding out that they don't matter, and now I'm pushing grammar last second. Yeah, Chungus, watch my grammar videos, bro. I'm telling you. Watch my grammar videos. Okay, I'm gonna murder the YouTube chat feature. I'm gonna break the bank. Ooh, go for it. Thanks, Tyler, you're so nice. Thanks, Vending Machine. That's a funny name. You guys need to relax your brains. So true, so true. Yeah, we're not gonna do logical questions today, but that would be fun. When I take the test, my brain feels like it's loaded with too much information. How do I overcome that? That means you're thinking too hard and you're stressing. One question at a time. One question at a time. Face reveal, I have so many times already. Speech, this is the speech. You guys are getting the speech right now. We're probably gonna wear a mask, yeah, probably, but who cares? Just do what you gotta do to get in the room and take the test and leave. That's it. You just gotta do what you gotta do. Speech now. I'm almost there. Guys, don't stress and do your best. Get a good night's sleep. You guys will rock it. Yeah, so true. Great vibes. Thank you. I know, Tyler, I wish all of you good luck. Nice. How to have a better understanding on the poem is to not skim and to understand that there's going to be some flowery language in there, but you got to figure out what's actually happening. Like, for example, if I said a soap ad is beating the beauty out of a mountain, it's not like the soap is actually using its fists to beat up a mountain, right? We just need to separate what's flowery language and what's not. Which video has all the formulas for math? I would go to my website. I probably should just link that really quick here. So if you're interested in working a little bit more today, That's my website. Everything is on there, and it's all for free. There's no paywall. Everybody can access it, so go for it. TylerTutor.com. I'm really scared. Thanks. Oh wow. Okay, I gotta catch up on chat, and then I'll do the speech. I promise. Yo, how far back is my highlighted part? What's the difference between the word it's and its? This is it is. If it has the apostrophe, it's it is. That is the possessive. It's like it's backpack, right? I thought the test was going to be hard, but when you explained it, it feels like it's not as hard. Good, bro. If I score perfect on math when I need to get an ELA, shoot for the 40s. What are some formulas or conversions we should know? Check my website. Do you have any bubble in videos? I don't, but just bubble it in, dude. You can do it. You're welcome. Get a good night's sleep. Yeah, don't worry or panic. Right. Thank you for everything. I found you in the summer, and it's great that you've been here to help us. Really appreciate everything, whether I get in or not. Thanks, Shiny. Yeah, I appreciate it. You've been awesome to have in the chat. And yeah, man, good luck. You're gonna do great. Guys, here's the beginning of the speech here. I guess I'll just say it right now. So there are very few moments that you know for sure that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. Like I would guess probably that when you're like an old person, you probably can think back to the room that you were testing in. You probably will have a memory of looking at the test, sitting at the test, whatever it may be. So just realize that it's an opportunity. Not many times in our lives do we get to do something that we know we're going to remember. So make it so that you don't remember being stressed and panicked. Make it so that you remember working hard and trying your best, because that's all you can ask for. And when you look back on the memory, you're not going to be like, oh man, I wish I was more nervous. I wish I was more scared. Because you're going to walk into that room tomorrow. They're going to make everything sound so serious. They're going to be like, if you're caught cheating, we're going to arrest you and throw you in prison. If you share these answers or you share these questions, we're going to, they're going to say all this thing to gas you up. It's just a test. It's just a test. And if you look at a question and you're like, I'm going to get this wrong, I certainly got this wrong, you could guess it right. Even if you think that you got a problem wrong or you don't know how to do a problem, there's a very 1 in 4 possibility that you guessed it right. So the way to manifest success is not by worrying, it's by being positive and having a good time, because it's an opportunity, it's a test, and you've done tests a million times before. And so enjoy yourself. Enjoy waking up knowing that you get to go and do something that you'll probably remember for the rest of your life. And like I've said before, I have a friend that went to STI, he went to Harvard Law, and he's kind of a bum. He's not making any money. He's kind of sleeping on a floor in this like weird kind of house thing in LA. Not doing great. And, on paper, oh my gosh, he got into STI. Oh my gosh, he got into Harvard Law. But now he's not much. And that's because he never was much to begin with. He just got really lucky, or he's good on testing. So if you get into a school, that's great. Good for you, bro. But you could end up like him. If you don't get into a school, that's not amazing, but you still could be an exceptional person with your life. So just know that the outcome of this test doesn't matter. Yes, people in your life may be disappointed, or they may be let down, or they may be mad at you. but that will go away. Trust me, that will go away. So ultimately, this is for you. Have a really good time taking the test. Have a fun time walking to school tomorrow morning, knowing you get to do this test. And it's fun. It should be very fun. If you see that you're getting all these questions, I'm going to get all these questions wrong. All these last 10 that I did, I probably got half of them wrong. That's the wrong attitude, bro. Like if you're playing skee ball, or if you're like playing like that basketball game that they have at arcades, are you mad that you like missed the last 5? No, because balls are still coming your way. You still grab them, you still shoot them, bro. If you get caught up in how bad you are and how many you're missing, then you're not having a good time. So I would recommend that the most out of everything is to recognize that this is a moment that you'll get to remember. And so put your best foot forward. And even if your best foot forward doesn't feel like it's enough in the moment, don't stop. Do not stop. Keep pushing, because it could be that you have a hard test and it's going to get round up. It could be that everybody's going to score really low this year. You don't know. So push, give it your all, have a great time, and leave no regrets. That's all. And if you get in, great. If you don't get in, great. It doesn't matter. And I can't express that to you enough. It does not matter. And yeah, you may have external pressure, but that will go away. You guys are going to do fine, okay? You guys are going to do fine. So get a good night's sleep, have something nice planned for this weekend or after school today, like, indulge, or tomorrow, indulge a little bit. But don't build this up. This isn't a boogeyman under your bed. This isn't this isn't getting to decide who gets to live in New York and who has to leave. This isn't deciding who gets drafted to the military and who doesn't. It's just, where are you going to go to school next year? And if you don't go to a specialized high school, you may meet your best friend and potential future business partner and become millionaires. And if you go to a specialized high school, you might not meet that person. So just know that everything's meant to be the way it's meant to be. You're going to be fine. Don't build it up to be a boogeyman, because it's not. It's a test on a piece of paper made by kind of disheveled adults. The adults that make this test are not like, it's not like the CIA is making this test. They're just bigger teachers. So don't build it up. Just, if you go in with a cool head, you win. That's it. That's your goal between now and tomorrow morning, is to go walk in with a cool head, putting it in perspective. If it helps, look around the room. Every single person in that room is feeling nervous. Even if they don't show it, even if they have a dumb look on their face, they're feeling nervous. So you're not alone, and it's not unnatural. But just know that it doesn't really matter. Does not really matter. Go in and do your best, have fun, and that's it. That's the speech, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Now I'm going to catch up on the chat. John Fletcher. Oh, I hate John Fletcher. We'll have to talk about John Fletcher. Maybe I'll do a John Fletcher roast sometime in the future. Candy makes you hyper. Yeah, just eat a normal thing. Tyler, if I score perfect on math, what I need to get into ELA, I would say the 40s. Go a little harder on ELA. Love this community and love Tyler. Your vids are the best. Dude, thanks, Zeb. Yeah, the community is really good. The people that come to this channel are like awesome, really awesome. Thank you for all your help, Tyler. See, honestly, I would say the people who come to my channel have a higher percent of being successful than people who just get into specialized high schools. Because if you've found my channel, that means you're the type of person who grinds and who searches out work. So that says a lot more about you than going to a specialized high school does, for sure. Thank you for all your help. You helped me so much with math and ELA grammar. Thanks to you, these questions are easy. Thanks for everything. You got it, Farian. What is the cutoff score? You check my last year's video. Just make sure you go into the test knowing you won't dictate your entire life. Dude, that's so true, so true. Like I said, that story of the dude who got it all right on paper, but he's a bum. And I mean, he really is. Like, not only is his situation bad, but like, he just doesn't have any juice, man. He's just like, he's given up. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. Hand reveal, absolutely not. Tyler, I'm going to get into Bronx Science. Go for the 40s and try to get these last 7 points. Look at my hack the SHSAT video, bro. Do you have any tips for 9th grade test? I would look at a PSAT. Oh no, where's my highlighted part? Oh man, am I that far behind on the chat? Yo, okay. You guys are cracking me up, that's so funny. Yeah, dude, I just got some dust in my eyes. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. I have peppers in my pupils, yeah. Yeah, let's all fail. In solidarity, yes. Tyler, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy. That should be a good birthday. You'll remember that one. Thank you, Tyler. You got a ducklet. Yeah. Too tough, bro. Let's see. Thanks, Tyler. We'll appreciate you for coming to the streams, bro. Definitely don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you aren't already. Yeah, you can, but I'm not. I'm in the Midwest right now, so you'd have to fly out. Tell me your address. Okay. Tyler, OP, yeah. What is the SHSAT? What is school? What is language? Those are great questions. I would go to google.com. It's a website that you can use, and they generally have a lot of stuff like that. If I get disowned, if I don't get in, no, you won't. See, that's the wrong attitude, bro. You won't get disowned. They'll honestly, it'll like give it a year and they will, it's like, it'll be gone. So that's the wrong attitude to have. Can you do a meet and greet? I'm not going to do one, but people have actually messaged me that they have met other people from the stream in the high school they go to. Words cannot express my thankfulness, but I appreciate everything. I really do. Good luck to everyone taking the test. Thanks, Wanku. Can you be successful by going to a regular high school, college? Yeah, dude. The world is ran by C students. So, like, there are people with like really high IQs that are living in trailers in the middle of nowhere because there are more things to being successful in life than going to the best schools. Trust me. I know a lot of very fancy people that went to the best schools and they're clueless, absolutely clueless. Can we get some Tyler appreciation? Ducklet, you're the man. Didn't study hard enough? Yeah, they will say that, but you obviously did study and they'll get over it. It's your life, not theirs. Can we get a post-text stream, please? Yeah, we probably will. I probably will do a party stream tomorrow night. I'll probably order a pizza and just kick it with you guys a little bit. They are just bigger teachers. Do trust me. The people that make the SHSAT are impressive in their own right, but if you saw them on the street, you'd be like, who's that? What I'm saying is they're not like these like demigods of people, right? They're just people. They're just people making a test for you. So don't trip. Thank you so much, Tyler. We love you. Love you too, Alicia. Guys, talk to your parents. I thought they hate me, but if it didn't go well, but they said, yeah, it doesn't, dude, just try your best. It does not really matter. And trust me, they'll get over it. They may say, oh, I'm going to disown you, but they're not gonna. Thank you, Tyler. I can't even say everything. You are one of the best tutors I've ever seen in my life. Thank you. You got it. You're a fan. Do you have tips on not overthinking a question other than reading carefully? Also, did you happen to know a SHSAT tutor named Josh? Kind of sound like him. Thank you for helping. I mean, I don't know Josh, but for not overthinking questions, just relax. See shiny. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're getting to the bottom here. Where are the formulas on the website? Go to the math section. They're kind of all over the place. It's not like in one spot. What should we do in the morning of the test? Just keep it easy. What do you normally want to do, and what do you feel like doing? If you feel like just staring at the ceiling, then stare at the ceiling. There's no one thing to do. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. What do you want to do? Just go ahead and do it the best you can. Should I do some practice questions tomorrow morning? Sure. I would just, if you want to, just do some multiplication, do some division problems, do some addition problems, you know, check them on a calculator, make sure it's all good. They're all over the place. Okay. Thank you so much for your help. You got it. If we have glasses and a mask, what do? You have to just have it so that the mask doesn't blow air up into your glasses, and that way they don't get fogged up. But, you know, just once you're at your desk, just kind of do what you got to do. If you just got to, like, you know, tip the mask down a little bit, it's okay. You know, just make sure that you're comfortable and able to breathe. De Blasio, yeah, De Blasio's, yeah, he's all right. Okay, getting to the bottom. So I want to say you're a big help. Even if I don't get in, I'll always be in my thoughts. I'm going to be a 50-year-old billionaire and be like, yo, what happened to that Tyler fella, by the way? Yeah, I'll be living in a big barrel. You can come visit me, bro. Thank you for everything. See you in 4 years, bro. See ya. Just want to say big help. Thanks, man. Pretty funny. I'm pretty nervous, but I think I'm ready. That's the attitude. You should feel a little nervous. That's all right. It's all right to feel a little nervous. Thank you so much, Tyler, for the help. I'm hoping to pass the test. I'm low-key grateful that you did not make the test. You would benefit if I made it the test, because I'd make a great test. Okay, Dumb Blasio, hot take. Tyler, would you say the Barron's practice tests are hard, similar? It's so hard to say. It's so hard. I ran out of practice tests. What do I do? Search SHSAT student handbook or go to my website, bro. There's a lot of problems there. Okay. Do you have time for some poems today? We don't. All right, cool. Tyler, just remember that you're an angel sent from God for us. You are an angel, man. Love you. Thanks, Brayminder. That's very kind to say. I'm a little humbled by that, but I will say that, you know, God is looking out for you guys, and just whatever happens is meant to be. It could be that you get a 0% on this test and you go to a regular high school and you meet the love of your life. You know what I mean? So no doors are closing. You're just gonna walk through one of them. That's it. What are some math formulas we should memorize? I actually don't, off the top of my head, I wouldn't say. Do you have names for your fans? No, I don't actually. I just saw someone in the chat say they have corona but still will go. That's probably a joke, honestly. And just wear your mask. If you're wearing your mask, that's what doctors do, so they don't get it. So just wear your mask, you'll be fine. Okay, SHSAT. All right, guys. This is the end of the study stream. You can look at all of the people in the chat. They're all going through it the same way you are. So if you ever feel nervous or scared or alone, just remember there is a chat full of 200 people who are in the same boat that you are, but who are also better than anyone else taking the test tomorrow, because you have gone out of your way to find studying, to find work. So the 200 people, 225 people in this chat are elite members of a club that nobody else is in. So look around your class tomorrow. Chances are nobody's in that club, but you got 225 really smart people who are sending positive energy your way, sending good vibes your way. So do not forget that you are elite, right? All the dummies in your class are not. Even if after the test they're like, oh, light work, that was easy. They're liars. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, guys, it's the end. Have so much fun. Don't overthink it. Spend some time tonight thinking about stuff that is not the test. Spend some time thinking about stuff that's just fun to think about. Stay nice and balanced. Stay cool. You guys are going to do awesome tomorrow. Do not get demoralized. If you're counting the wrong problems in your head going, oh, I've missed so many. Nah, dude. You probably guessed like half of them right. It's not even a problem. So stay motivated. Stay positive. Say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. And tomorrow, we're just going to kick it. See you tomorrow.